So we're going to call the meeting to order. It's October 9th. October 9th, Architectural Review Board, and if you would call roll.
Chair Lovely is absent. Vice Chair Jones,
Here.
also acting chair this evening. Member Ritter,
Here.
Member Parsons.
Here.
Councilmember Liaison Nyan is absent. Member Cohn
Here.
and alternate Bartlesmeyer.
Here.
And alternate Ratterman is absent this evening. We have a quorum.
Okay. We have minutes tonight. We do have 2 letters in the minute with recommendations from the last meeting. Does anyone have any updates or changes they want to make to those letters? Does anyone want to make a motion to approve the minute?
Either all approve or all second, however you want to record.
Okay. Did you get that?
Motion by Member Cohn and
Second.
second Parsons. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I will abstain because I was not here.
As will I. Thank you.
All we needed to minutes are approved as amended, correct? As that vote
Yeah, as
amended. Okay, tonight we have 3 items on the agenda: Blue Onyx Development, the Reserve at Wildwood, and Corbin Salt House sign. Niles Pediatrics Dentist. Is there any additions to the agenda that we need to speak about? Do we have any public comments?
If anyone that is on Zoom has any comments, please use the raise hand feature and we will promote you to speak. Not appear so.
Is there any old business? None? Okay. We'll get started with new business. First up will be the Blue Onyx Development, 2601 East Avenue and 2603 East Avenue. An initial review of the plans for the 2 proposed single-family dwellings on a site that is located within the city town center. Be constructed upon the properties located at 2601 East Avenue and 2603 East Avenue.
Thank you, Chair and members of the board. The first item on the agenda as read in by the chair is 2601 East Avenue and 2603 East Avenue. It's 2 lots located at the intersection of Manchester Road and East Avenue. As you can see, there's frontage on Manchester in one of the lots in East Avenue for both. The site is approximately 6.69 acres. It's located in the R3 10,000 square foot residence district and designated the neighborhood edge district of the town center regulating plan. The applicant has provided some photos. This photo is looking north towards Manchester Road. As you can see, this is looking south. You can see the residential development on the same side of the street and the shopping center across East Avenue. This is another one kind of looking southwest. So you can see again the residential development, and then beyond the trees there is another residential development. This is the site plan for both homes. The department would note a couple of relevant applications. The first being a Board of Adjustment application that went before the board in September. They granted a variance to the city's minimum yard requirements of the R3 10,000 square foot residence district and the design guidelines for the neighborhood edge district of the town center regulating plan to accommodate the construction of a new single family dwelling located on a lot at 2601 East Avenue. The variance approval authorized a front yard setback distance of 10 feet from Manchester Road in lieu of the 20 feet distance as required by the property zoning designation. As you can see, where the lot fronts on Manchester, it's technically frontage, but it's the side yard of the home, and so that's where the 10-foot was approved in lieu of the 20-foot. That being said, in order to approve this, it's also dependent upon boundary adjustment to adjust the lot sizes in order to accommodate both homes. That is a separate process, but this will have to be conditioned upon the approval of said boundary adjustment. Also to be noted, the homes are located in the neighborhood edge district, and there are a couple of inconsistencies with the town center development manual. One being that the front access garages must be a minimum of 15 feet from the front facade or porch. 15 feet recess also applies to the sides on corner lots. And I believe it's only about 8.5 feet from the front of the porch to the garage. Additionally, the garage doors are shown, as you can see here. Garage door openings may not exceed 12 feet, so that 2-car garages shall have 2 individual door openings, and each front-facing garage space shall have an individual garage door. As you can see, one of the garage doors is a 2-car garage. Additionally, front-facing driveways should be no wider than 10 feet in the build to and setback line in the street. And plans show that the driveway is approximately 30 feet wide from the home to the street. That being said, the development guide does allow for the architectural review board some latitude to approve said inconsistencies like these without requiring further review by the Board of Adjustment, provided that the board finds the homes are compatible with the surrounding homes and neighborhood. That being said, the applicant also dropped off or emailed over a letter of support from the neighboring properties that's signed by 7 of the property owners in the surrounding area, stating their approval of the architecture that you see before you. The only other thing I think I have on my note is that the department did note that the sides of the home don't have a whole lot of architectural details on it, and mentioned that to the applicant. So tonight, the department would ask that the board approve with or without conditions, deny, or continue it to the next meeting if there are changes to see. But all of that, if you do end up approving it, would be conditioned upon the boundary adjustment plat being approved. And so the applicant has prepared a presentation for tonight's meeting, which they'll elaborate more on the details of the home. That being said, I believe that this concludes the department's presentation, unless Director Vunich, have I missed anything that you'd like to add?
Madam Chair, with your permission.
Mhm.
The boundary adjustment plan is scheduled to be reviewed by the City Council this coming Monday night, October 13th.
Quick question. Just, are the garage doors considered carriage style? Okay.
Yes, the windows.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then
No, what's a dumb question? Is this west of the post office on the same side of the street? Okay, I know that lot. It kind of looked familiar here and I'm like, I think that's where it is.
I have applicant's packet if you wanted to elaborate on any of the details of the house.
Yeah, so right now, like they said, they're just currently vacant lots. I think they're being used more as informal parking areas and dumping areas than anything. I think we've tried to keep to the overall appearance of town center, what they're wanting to see. We've actually changed our plans from what they were originally supposed to be. And what we've based these plans off of were designed for the 2 houses next door to the properties. The residents and neighbors have supported it. Right now, I think they just want to see anything going up there to kind of stop the people from parking there and improve the property values. Our designs were done by Dev Design Group. We've tried to kind of keep into the materials that we're wanting to see in town center. The James Hardy siding, we're doing Evern Taupe and Ashlar Gray.
Show us.
That's right.
Yeah. And what is your name?
My name's Becky. These are trim. Indoor siding.
When we walk over there.
That's right.
What tiny,
Uh,
Both houses finished the same?
it's not gonna be the same colors, they'll be different. So they're a lot alike, slightly different square footage, so about 200 square foot difference. The one right out like 2,100, the other one's at 2,300.
For the house nearest Manchester Road, where the HVAC units can sit.
Feel no better.
Outside.
It would be, yeah, I think it is the south side, because I think that's where electric comes in. She'd be working on a lot more, but yeah, I still have
The
that.
back of the house would
Just-
be south side.
Purely based off where the furnace is shown on the plans, it would most likely be
Back
the
is
south
west.
side.
The back would be west.
Back is west.
On the left side, it'd be.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
They're facing East Avenue, so they're not facing Manchester.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I was gonna say, on Manchester would not look good.
Quick question. I mean, this is not part of architect's review, but I'm just curious, what price point are you gonna market the homes at?
So one of them's already pre-sold at 650.
How
I'm
much?
sorry, one is already pre-sold at 650.
Mhm.
The second one will be marketed at 695,
Okay,
slightly bigger.
I thank you. Just curious.
Yeah, so it's within the price points.
Bigger,
61.
one is 2,067, the other's 2,320.
You surprised about the price point?
Yeah.
surprised at the cost per square foot.
Doesn't go down. It's cheap right now. You can make it cheaper. So this stuff, just so you know, is quite a bit more expensive than the vinyl siding, so. Just this one thing alone costs
Familiar.
$50,000.
What's the color of that hardy board you just touched there?
This one's more of the ashlar, a
Ashlar
little
Gray.
bit dark.
Well, you know, they call it
It's bigger.
weird stuff like timber bark and mine's timber bark and it looks just like that.
Yeah, didn't you like the days back when it was like you go to the ice cream store and it was chocolate, vanilla, and
Exactly.
you pick, now you go there and like sit there for an
So-
hour.
Is that the stone?
Yeah, the stone, like I said, they're slightly different. One's gonna be the Arctic Smoke on the slightly smaller home than the Northern Slate. Roof samples too, the Dove Gray and Pewter on the Castlebrook line. And then trim for the smaller one is gonna be the hammered silver, and then trim on the larger one is gonna be the Rockwood Shutter from Charlotte.
Are the basements finished?
They are not set to be, but of course, I mean, they can upgrade, at least the one that's not pre-sold. I think the one that's pre-sold right now is pretty set on how it's gonna be.
I thought they wanted part of it. So they at least had it, it's not finished, but I think part of it is piped where it has a
It's
bathroom.
roughed in.
Yeah, roughed in, just.
So have you thought about doing anything to the sides to add the architectural detail like that was asked?
I mean,
I don't think that we had started, I think our older plans had more
Yeah.
look on the sides of them, and like I said, we've tried to, there was issues with how our garage is set and the porch is set. So before we brought it to you guys, we wanted to get it a little bit more in line with how the city was wanting to see it also. So we changed the plans. I don't think that we're opposed to doing these small.
are you talking about like a window or something like that?
Yeah, I was just asking because it was brought up, so it just seemed easy.
I mean, I don't, the window doesn't make much of a change.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you landscaping any of this?
Yeah, the landscaping plan, are they on here?
Yes.
But not on your elevation?
Oh, it's fine, yeah, it might have been.
Okay,
No,
Yeah.
yeah, not the landscape on the elevations.
It's fine. I think it's on one.
I love the house.
It is in the packet.
It does have a
Yeah.
nice landscaping plan, so with it. That will at least match or exceed what's.
that, the sides, is it?
A little bit, so I think a lot of it's up in the front, isn't it?
Yeah, most of it's in the front. We try to keep it minimal to the sides because with the one side facing Manchester, there was some restrictions, at least with fencing and I think not wanting to make it overly private over there. So like I said, we kind of just have at this point kept it down.
Okay.
What, do you know what the draw is for people to park in those lots?
Oh, I don't know.
Is there something that draws them to park there and?
Well, I know there's a lot of lawn people that park there, but there was a lot of people just dumping crap there, like just junk, and I don't know who went in there and poured more rock, but they dug out a bunch of stuff. I have no idea who did any of that. I've owned it for the last 2 years now. Yeah, but I know the guy next door very well. I worked on Lifetime Fitness and Dale's awesome. Good dude, honestly, I like him, but he wants something done with it as well, so, but he's very supportive of it. Yeah, I don't know who.
Just wondered.
Or anything else you wanted to- Yeah, outside of the one side, which, yeah, if it's the air conditioner over there on both the south side of the house. Yeah, I don't mind putting a couple bushes around that to kind of block that a little bit. And it gives it a little bit more pizzazz, I guess.
Yeah. It's just kind of plain to see, I mean, you're gonna get a lot of people looking at the interest. I do see what they're saying. Anybody else have any questions?
Here. Yes, Mr. Bartlesmeyer, Mr. Ritter, the architects, so to speak, no offense meant to the others. Have you looked at the post or columns? Some of them seem a little slender for what they're picking up, so to speak. This seems slender relative to. It's on the front thing.
Did notice that 2603, even though they're calling out the same size, so it seems to be a wider post. Just based off of, say, the rendering of the drawings. Yeah, they both call them out at 6x6 wood posts. It's 2603 just looks a little bit wider.
Looking at the rear of the home as well. You see the slender.
I agree. The rear, we do 6x6 quite a bit on rears. I'm not too opposed to it on the rear.
Okay.
I think the front, especially with the stone base. Like I was saying, 2603 looks more proportional with the stone base
I would agree.
than what's being shown on. Well, actually, they both say 2603. There's lots of this. Lot 1 seems skinnier than lot 2. Now, I don't know if there truly is a difference in the drawing and what that is. I guess I'd also ask what exactly wood post, what kind of wood are we talking about for that wood post?
Cedar.
It would be cedar. Okay.
Thank you. Right, we just don't. Lots is a corner lot. The actual guidelines for town center does require it to be treated as if it was the front of the house as well.
Okay.
So there has to be embellishments on that south side, the north side,
On the one.
not all the others. It's just when there's a corner lot.
Yeah.
We treat them different. It's two fronts, basically.
Gotcha.
The motion to approve the department would respectfully request that that's a requirement. That whatever they've done here in terms of window types and is carried over to that side.
I don't know if they could, you could add some stone and lean on that side, the matches. Which one's on them? Yeah, so that the, we're saying is that because it faces Manchester, it needs to look. So, yeah. Something. Is it this one that's on the corner? The darker. Yeah. One is the one that's on the corner. Yeah, so. East, the north is facing.
Yeah, carrying,
Yeah,
but carrying that wainscot across
yeah,
that side, that stone wainscot.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then applying the same mullion pattern on the windows as the front elevation onto the window on the side. But I haven't dealt with that stone material before. I don't know what the cost is. I don't know where it compares to hardy board in a square foot cost. I don't know. If that's gonna be a huge cost difference. Replacing hardy board with that's the stone.
Huge difference.
Yeah, well, it's some cost difference, yeah.
Pretty minor though from the front and on that one side.
Yeah,
Again, just as the one side, it's not
Yeah,
each of the side elevation.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I would definitely, with that
No, I
being
think that's
facing Manchester, that would definitely be.
Yeah.
Um. A recommendation.
someone want to.
Or is everyone good? We're good with,
Well,
With that-
with the one addendum that Mr. Boonish mentioned,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Did you
move
wanna-
to approve of that.
Just-
make a motion for approval with the added revisions of extending the stone wainscot on the right elevation and extending the mullion pattern onto the right elevation windows.
Could we have
Motion
to
by
trim
Mr.
the round?
Barnheimer. Can we get a second?
Oh, yes, and that's true. Can we,
The front has.
the trim, the same trim pattern around the gable vent as it's on the front.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay,
Then it would match the front, same details.
okay. Did you get all that?
I got both of it. The motion was made by member Parsons. Who did we have
I'll
second?
second.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Anyone abstain? Okay. Motion carries, Brett.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You guys can stay or you can.
Much better. I was trying to get their project for the whole subdivision, so it was to say the least. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Great to meet you all. Better than I have a mess. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. You were there and harassed, yeah.
The next case is for the reserve at Wildwood. 1455 Manchester Road. Initial review of a temporary vinyl banner sign to be mounted to a temporary construction trailer with each associated 115 lot residential development project and both requiring variance. from the board.
It's not for the vinyl sign. Yeah, it's for the.
Sorry.
Sorry, that's right.
Okay,
Did not cut and paste apparently.
okay. All right, let me start over.
Didn't we do that?
I don't know, I wasn't here last time. The reserve at Wildwood 17225 Manchester Road, a preliminary review of plans for one of the Liberty Series home options to be available within the reserve, a new 115-foot lot subdivision within town center. I know when I was reading it, I was like, did I jump ahead? I thought there was
No,
one.
That was my fault.
Okay. Okay, would you like to give an overview?
He's gonna shift it to the lesser partner in this.
Oh, okay.
tonight. So,
Oh, all right.
Madam Chair and members of the board, Mr. Barosmeyer is representing McKelvey Homes. McKelvey Homes is developing the 50-acre site at the southwest corner of Route 109, Route 100. They've been grading on the site for a bit of time. You have noticed it is going to be a major concert. That's going public health. Mr. Bartelsmeyer has presented to the board on 2 other occasions. There is a grouping of 2 types of series, the Liberty and the Designer. And the series are premised on popular size, etc. So there's A and B, and C and D. The board approved both of the previous submittals, which were much more voluminous than this. They covered many of the different models and the associated elevations with each of the models. I believe from the last comments at that second meeting, Mr. Bartelsmeyer presented, this may be the last of them.
No, I will have one more that I hopefully will submit, if not tomorrow, early next week, and we can probably discuss next meeting.
Sounds good. So from the perspective of the department, the last time Mr. Bartelsmeyer bought 2 tables worth of materials, we basically said that they're the same for the next grouping. We didn't necessarily need to bring them, but we did include catalog touch sheets and different things so you can see. It's the standard material that we apply. When you say standard, it isn't necessarily anything other than upgrades. It's the hardy board siding, architectural shingles, all the things that add longevity to the home itself. And from the perspective of they generate ideas for future owner. So Kelly Holmes has done a great job with our architectural guidelines. I'm going to let Mr. Bartelsmeyer go into greater detail. If there's any questions about the project or the past meetings, Mr. Priscilla and I'd be glad to answer them at this time. Thank you.
You, Joe. Like Joe said, this is just one house in the Liberty Series plan. And now again, we'll break down to this. The Liberty Series plans fall on the lot A and B lots within the development, which are the orange and blue lots on this development plot. Orange lots are 2-car Liberty Series plans and the blue lots are 3-car Liberty Series plans. The plan in front of you, the Hamilton 2, will be offered on both sets of those. We have a 2-car and a 3-car version of this house. So that's what's included in this package. I believe it is, remember off the top of my head correctly, it is 4 elevation variations for this plan. Yeah, two feet, so there are 4. With just a different variety of materials and switching anything from front porch sizes, roof, gable changes, material changes, the like. Anyone have any questions?
here.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking.
Is this a smaller dwelling than the others we've seen or in keeping
In width, no, it's in keeping with the same width.
square footage wise?
Square footage wise, it is a ranch plan. It is our largest in the 2-car lot size. I believe it's just over 2,000 square feet, so it's 2,063 square feet. The plan, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath standard. Options to make it a 4-bedroom with an additional full bath, so, but it's not this, it's middle size in our, overall offerings. Just being a ranch limits, but it is the larger ranch we offer, so.
Okay.
On the shingles or architectural shingles, are you finding, or have you tried to see if there's any lead time or problems with the supply chain in getting the shingles?
We are not right now experiencing any issues with
You
lead
get,
time.
is it Certainty or are you using another manufacturer?
Timberline is
Yeah.
who we use for our manufacturer. Or is the product line.
GAF, maybe I'm seeing
Yeah,
it here.
yes,
Okay.
yes, that's the actual manufacturer. No, like, I'm not aware of anything. The only thing I'm aware of we're having lead time issues on is windows.
And yeah,
Those have been pushed back a little bit, but we just order them up a little bit earlier. So,
Thank you.
or try to order them earlier, so.
Anybody else? Someone want to make a motion?
That's right.
Okay, Mr. Ritter made the motion and Mr. Carson second. I'm gonna take a vote. Anyone, all in favor? Any opposed? Any?
Got this down now, don't you?
Yeah. There will be one more very recently. In theory, there could be some later. We're developing new plans, but they're way in the works.
So are you trying a new, something that you haven't done previously?
Yeah, no, entirely new models that were from nothing we've sold before.
Yeah, please.
Is there a demand? Are people asking for things consistently as upgrade?
No, these two that we're working on are more trying to hit what we are perceiving as a gap in our offerings. They're both 1.5-story offerings. No, sorry, one's a 1.5-story offering. It's trying to be a little bit more economic in our Liberty Series side. Some of our 2.5-stories that we have in the Liberty Series are not the most economic build. They're a little bit more costly in the build out, so we're trying to do one that's a little bit more, so we can hit a price point that we're kind of missing. Hopefully we'll hit. And the other one is very similar to 2-story plan in the Designer Series, which is kind of the same thing. That's more, we don't sell a lot of 2-stories, but that's kind of, we don't really have one 2-story plan in our offering, so we're trying to bring another plan into the offering, so they've been in works, but they've kind of been backburnered for a while, so hopefully they will be done shortly and we will be able to offer them here as well, so.
Doesn't seem that long ago, 2 stories, it's all you could buy.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just thinking,
They're with costs going up, they're coming back in. I mean, like, I know I started McKelvey almost 10 years ago. We basically didn't sell anything that wasn't a ranch or a 1.5 stores, like that was it. So, but with costs going up, especially since COVID. They're coming back in where people are looking for the economy of building two-story, so,
That's great.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
All right, for the last case, Corbin Salt House, Smiles Pediatric Dentistry, 16560 Manchester Road. It's
We
the
have to
initial,
make a motion to approve.
we did.
Well, yeah,
Fine. I'll sleep.
Slipped it, bud.
Initial review of a new sign on the north elevation of a building that's located in the Schnucks Crossing Shopping Center, which requires a variance from the Board of Adjustment.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair and members of the board, as you know, when a sign is submitted to the city for consideration and ultimately determined to need a variance, before the Board of Adjustment can act on that variance request, it must be submitted to the board, the Architectural Review Board, for consideration and recommendation. You do not act on the variance request, but you provide input to the board, and that assists them in making their decision, which, as you know, the Board of Adjustment can waive any requirement in the zoning ordinance that it should use based upon hardship. This particular request is a little unusual in that there's two components to the sign. The top component, that which is on the raceway and individualized letters, is fine. It's the component below that that is sort of a box, and our code doesn't anticipate that as described and interpreted by the department. So I'll also admit I made a mistake and authorized one not too long ago. And so I have to live with that and wait till that changes. But in this particular case, I did ask the owners to proceed forward with the variance request. Because again, other than the component, the design complies with our sign regulations. So if there are any questions regarding this I had and this particular sign, I'll be glad to try to answer them along with Ms. Ripetoe.
So these are internally lit.
The bottom.
But just the
Yes.
box.
This
And that's-
is in Schnucks Wildwood Crossing. They were zoned prior to the incorporation of the city. So we've honored the ordinance that St. Louis County approved, which did allow internal lighting. So there can be a mix, like the chair mentioned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Vonin, with regard to signage, are there any regulations as to signs that are put inside the plate glass window that faces the street?
For the most part, no, the restrictions are not so much the sign itself, but it cannot be flashing or animated. So those signs that basically flash open or do something like that, our code prohibits that. And then recently we had an instance on Manchester Road where the LEDs were so bright. They were on our side of Manchester Road, there was an intervening vacant lot, there were homes. The people in the homes were complaining it was so bright when it was on, they could shining in their windows. That's how bright it was. So for the most part, it's the parameters of the lighting that often we have to address inside the building, placed next to the windows or the glazed area.
Have you ever looked at the open sign at the Martini Indian restaurant?
I can't say,
Blinding.
okay, well,
I think it can be seen from the International Space Station.
well, they are coming to the Board of Adjustment next week as well, so I'll keep an eye out. Thank you.
Thank you all, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to submit a request regarding signage for Salthouse Smiles Pediatric Dentistry, soon to be located at 16560 Manchester Road in Wildwood, Missouri. We're looking forward to joining and supporting the community of Wildwood. While we've had the pleasure of working with a reputable company, Dale Signs, and Chris Smith, who's been designing signs there since 1980, he has helped us to create the Salthouse Smiles Pediatric Dentistry sign you see here today. Based on his expertise, he shared that typically when creating these signs, that it would look best if you calculate it based off of the square footage of the storefront and then size the sign to be equal or less than 5% of that. And so that is what he has calculated here. So you can see we are respectfully requesting approval for our signage to be 32 inches by 162 inches and a total of 36 square feet. As recommended by Dale Signs based off the square footage, looking at the storefront being 24 feet by 30 feet. Here's a close up of what you can see looking right there. Additionally, we request that the sign include the module reading the pediatric dentistry rather than having individual channel letters. This approach would allow us to maintain a uniform look across all of our offices as we continue to expand and serve more communities. Here's our existing office in De Pere, located at 11941, also on Manchester Road. And you can see here this signage is consistent with this style, and we would like to carry out that same design standard moving forward. So within the first 2.5 years of being open at De Pere, we have served 3,600 patients within the De Pere community, resulting in 11,800 visits. So many of these patients will be able to go to both of our locations, and then geographically, some of them may actually end up having Wildwood be their dental home. So our goal for them is to be able to quickly and easily recognize the familiarity of the sign. And one thing we would also like to draw your attention to is that the pediatric dentistry is already fairly small, like whenever you're looking at it from the street. And so if we were to have to go to the individualized letters, it would actually have to shrink that as well. Then shrinking the Salthouse Smiles name as well to kind of try to even that out. So furthermore, so based on some Google images of this complex and surrounding businesses in Wildwood, it appears that the module signage has previously been accepted, supporting our request for consistency in signage. So here's a photo from Google Images from 2021. You can see the Look After Hair Company, which was previously located in this same complex 2 doors down, had that same module design that we are proposing. And then to the left there, you can see our next door neighbor, Kumon, who has that module for their O, allowing them to keep their signage consistent throughout the different municipalities that they're serving. So we are hoping to grant your request to stay consistent with previous adjustments that have been granted. From a financial standpoint, utilizing the module instead of individual letters provides significant cost savings as well. So the individual channel letters ultimately double the cost to approximately $16,000 for that. So this is, on this next slide, this is our De Pere location, just so that you can see what that sign looks like lit up. Dale Signs has recommended standard internally illuminated channel letters for our sign, which you'll be able to see in the details provided here in just a second. And there's a little bit more of a close-up just so that you can see what it looks like illuminated. And I think that you all have copies of this as well, just so that you can see it. And then lastly, so this is Dollar Tree, which I pulled from Google Images, but is still located just to the left of our storefront. And it appears in talking to Dale Signs that this is that same standard internally illuminated channel letters, or they are thinking that from the Google Images. So again, we are asking to grant requests to stay consistent with previous adjustments made. So Salthouse Smiles Pediatric Dentistry looks forward to serving the Wildwood community for decades to come. And we greatly appreciate your time and consideration and hopefully approval, so we can proceed with a sign that's professional, consistent with branding, and in harmony with the surrounding complex.
Thank you.
And that's what it will look like.
All right, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
Your De Pere location, do you know how size wise relative to this, is it the same size?
Our
or
De Pere site, our De Pere location is 2,100 square feet, like as far as that, but as in terms of like the size of the sign.
Yes.
I do not, I can get back to you on that.
It's all right.
But he did it based off that same calculation.
Yeah.
5% less than what this. I can explain this.
Give you a little background too.
Okay,
So the way we calculate the square footage of signage is a single dimension, and it's the width of the tenant space. So 1 square foot of sign size for each foot of tenant space. We don't take into account the height of the tenant space. This past Monday, Planning and Zoning Commission recommended that we change our sign regulations, and we are going to go to that 5% calculation. Meaning we're going to take into account not only the width of the tenant space, but its height. That's the standard practice. St. Louis County has used it for years and years and years. Ours was recommended by one of our consultants who has done a great deal of new urbanism development across the country. So we are going to go to, for the most part, larger signs. And we are also increasing the height of the individual letters from 24 inches to 30 inches. So we've applied the current regulations since 2006, so we've got 19 years of application, but the impression was that we need to change. So just a little background.
okay, thank you. Any comments?
Do you know when that, I'm sorry, when that change goes into place?
Well, they acted Monday, October 6th. Since our council only meets once a month, it won't be till then, till November. We'll have a public hearing, the introduction of the bill. The second reading will be in December, so it's a couple months off.
Okay.
So Board of Adjustment is quickest avenue right now.
Would anybody like to make a motion for recommendation?
Madam Chair.
Do we not have,
motion,
no motion?
If you want to give direction to the department, do you like the sign as presented? And we'll pass that on to the Board of Adjustment. We'll prepare a memorandum, have it to you no later than Monday. If it meets your requirements, and then back.
Anyone who want to voice any concerns? Are you just?
I don't have any concerns with the sign.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
I'll
you.
pass it on to the Board of Adjustment.
You guys said you love it? Thank you all for your time.
Okay. Any other item?
I have one.
Okay,
Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. You've been invited to our board appreciation event. I hope you can attend. If not, make sure at the next meeting to ask for your token of appreciation, which is a piece of wildwood clothing. Very nice. So if you can attend, please do. If not, miss out on your gift.
I can't.
all right, our next meeting date is. It says Thursday, October 9th, but that's not correct. When is the next meeting?
November 13th.
November 13th. Would anybody like to make a motion to close the meeting?
I won't be able, I will not be here November 13th.
Okay, November 13th.
I've got a dinner date. TMI.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
with my wife.
Oh, they kind of ruined it now.
Alright, would someone like to make a motion to close the meeting?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Alright.
All right, thank
so
you.
much,
Meeting
folks.
adjourned.